It's written, "Mipnei chatoeinu golinu me'arsenu." That was 2,000 years ago. Today, people go live in Israel, is "Mipnei chatoeinu golinu le'arsenu." A person has to understand that if a person was raised in America, in the culture of America, you're going to a country, even though the Nevi'im, the Chachomim, were misnabed, all the milas from Eretz Yisrael, but you have to understand that for the last 2,000 years, the situation situated in Eretz Yisrael were only Arabs, and on them is said, "V'zoramtom susum zromosum." You have to understand that from the Islam and from the Arab culture in the Quran, no one ever got a side of peace like Sadat. No one ever got a Nobel Prize for doing something for the world. So the education and the culture and the understanding of the Arab culture is on a very, very low madrega. So when you have, for the last 2,000 years, millions and millions of Arabs living in Eretz Yisrael, and there was only a very small kehillah, very, very small kehillah, living in Eretz Yisrael, you have to understand that when they died, their neshama did not go up to heaven. Their culture, their behavior was left on the ground. So when you come to Eretz Yisrael, you absorb that kind of culture of 2,000 years, or kamat 2,000 years, from Arab culture. And when you were brought up in America in a more surviving culture, and a more expanding culture, you come there and you get a certain culture which is called befager and zregestellt. Because in America you have a madrega which cuts out all kind of aggravation. Mind your own business. In Israel they don't know that. They only want to know what's your business, not to mind your own business. It has a chesavim that there's no compliments in Eretz Yisrael. En chanifa be'Eretz Yisrael. Alavai, they should erase the lashon hara and the sakronas, what goes on there, and they should only give chanifa. No, because of their religious opinion, you're not allowed to give chanifa here, but their indulgence in lashon hara and arrogance is far supreme over the avera for the chanifa. So then I hold that if a person would only be involved in chanifa without any lashon hara or arrogance, it would overweigh all these averas. And you have to understand that it's a soil more than all the countries in the world, because they're isolated. They have sakronas, curiosity. They always want to know what's going on in someone else's life. You have another thing as Eretz Yisrael, there's a tremendous amount of kinna, jealousy, more than any place in the world. And there's another thing in Eretz Yisrael, halshana, squealing, for the smallest thing they can squeal to the government and make you all kind of problems. And squealing is very common in Eretz Yisrael. Chotshvel is squealing, the Torah says, "Ulam lam shidim alti sikvo." We say it 3 times a day in the davening. And as a soil, you want to sit and learn Torah is a very hard thing if you're dedicated to Torah, because the newspapers and the sakronas to know what's going on by someone else, they read too many newspapers that makes they patem the seichel, they contaminate their brain, that not understand what Torah is all about. They might be very educated, they might know, but there's a tremendous contamination from the newspapers that they read, which has no supplement and no support to Torah. Then there's another thing, a culture in Eretz Yisrael, which is called lo yichpatli. I don't care. It takes off the responsibility of a person in anything which he takes upon himself. And he says lo yichpatli. So if he's lo yichpatli, you don't have the responsibility to the things that you are responsible for. Then there is another thing, a culture that if a person is good and he gives him, so there's a culture in Eretz Yisrael, cannot settle to Arasov, use him out till the end, squeeze him out at the orange till the end, even though he showed you pisal shalmacha, he gave you, no. And tenatzelot to Arasov. Then there's another chesaron in Eretz Yisrael when you go there. En firgun. People cannot see that you possess something if they don't have it. And another thing there's a union from sinas chinam. And the sinas chinam was the Chazalim gesagt, Leichova Yerushalayim, Elo mishum sinas chinam. Just there's a certain thing of hatred for no reason whatever, no reason whatsoever. Then in Israel, what people speak to you, and shakranim, a shakran, a liar, is the one who says sometimes the truth and sometimes a lie. But in Israel, so he gets a certificate of employment, he's a liar. But in Israel, they never tell you the truth, so there's no liars. In Eretz Yisrael, they have no akoros hatoiv. They only want to be mezaka you with a mitzvah. Memela, they feel that the mezaka the mitzvah, they don't have to be makatoiv. So there's no gratefulness in Eretz Yisrael. People, in usual, on the majority basis, they're not makatoiv. They're not grateful. And in Eretz Yisrael, there's a tremendous opposition to know the English language. You go to all the countries in Europe, they all know English. Here, they have a broken English. Nothing. They only want that you should bend to the Hebrew language. And being that they should bend to the Hebrew language, they have the tremendous opposition. Then, in Eretz Yisrael, they don't create any personalities. What did Albert Einstein said? Albert Einstein said, it's personalities, not principles. Principles is money that moves this planet. In Eretz Yisrael, people are not, and they don't produce any personalities. They produce people with brains, with everything, but personality that moves people, they don't have it. It's only in Chutz La'aretz. The Pfar sagt the Gemara, ki solek chad mehem, ki trei minayu. That one of a person who comes from Chutz La'aretz is like 2 in Eretz Yisrael. Another chesron Eretz Yisrael is that if you have kishroinus, you have talent, lo notim lecha larim et harosh, they don't give you a chance to pick up your head and give you a push like a person shows that he has talent. They push him and become even greater in the business. Over there, they won't give you a chance to pick up your head. The Mabit says in his Sefer, and v'ahavta l'reacha kamoicho. So he says that if a person wants from you a favor, and you know that when you need the same favor, he won't do it for you, or he's not capable to do it, then you don't have to do it to him. The person has to be capable for the favor that he wants, that if this person wants the favor, and you should be able to do it for him. And if he can't, so l'moshel, someone asks you for a shidduch for his daughter, and you know, and you want a bacher, and you know that when your daughter will become qualified of age, he will not do anything to recommend a potential candidate for your daughter. So you don't have to recommend that any shidduch. As America, all people of Israel come to raise money to support the institutions of Israel. What would be if Saudi Arabia, Israel would have the money of Saudi Arabia, and an American institution comes to raise money for the institution in America? They won't give 1 penny. So if they don't want to give 1 penny, you don't have to give them any. There's no din v'ahavta l'reacha kamoicho. And the next thing is that as a soil with whom you come together, they're always involved in loaning money. And many people don't pay back. So a person has to be very zoil. The loan of money, no matter how much guarantee, people won't pay you back. Then, in Israel, everyone is very, 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 very opinionated. And when a person is opinionated, what you talk to them will never change. And their arrogance, because they possess their arrogance, they won't change what they're opinionated. So anyone that leaves Eretz Yisrael should be boidik and live with to know all these chesronos, all these fallacies. When he's going to Eretz Yisrael, he should know what he's going to be called for. Thank you.